Hello, students. Good morning to all of you. I hope you will be fine at home. So, in continuation with my previous lecture, actually, we have started the unit number 2 of electrical machine 1. So, as I earlier told you, that electrical machine 1 is basically the first part of machine subject. Now, machine subject is basically covers all the machines, all the rotating and non-rotating machine. If I am talking about the rotating machine, means I am talking about motor and generator. So unit 3 and 4 totally deals with this motor and generator, and unit 5 is deals with the transformer. So unit 3 and 4 is having the rotating machine, and unit 5 is dealing with the non-rotating machine. Now if I'm talking about the rotating machine, so rotating machine basically do what? Convert electrical power into mechanical power and mechanical power into electrical power. So if I'm talking about the conversion of electrical power to mechanical power, my dear student, so here electrical power is basically in the form of voltage, current, power, energy. But if I'm talking about the what? I'm talking about the mechanical power. So I'm always talking about the rotation. And rotation means torque. Rotation means torque. So power, voltage, current, or energy basically converted into torque, and torque is converted into same thing, that is power, voltage, energy, current. So if I am converting electrical into mechanical, that is motor, and vice versa of it means converting mechanical into electrical, that is generator. Okay, okay, my dear student. Then we having the transformer. Transformer is basically is not a conversion device. Conversion means not convert anything, not convert one form of energy to another. But transformer is what? Transformer is a mean and costly equipment of power system, and power system is the another subject which is very important in electrical engineering. After this, or we can say parallel to this electrical machine subject. Okay, so transformer is basically transfer the power from one circuit to another without changing its frequency. Okay, so but transformer can change the voltage level up and down, and corresponding to it, current also changes down and up. If voltage is increasing, current is decreasing. If voltage is decreasing, current is increasing. So later on we can study in the unit number 5 that how transformer works, and in unit number 3 and 4 we will basically discuss about, or basically study about the rotating electrical machines. Okay, so my dear student, this is the unit number 2, and in unit number 1 we basically study about the magnetic field and magnetic circuits. Okay, now in this in relation with the unit number 1, we can say we have almost the similarity between the unit number 2 and 1. But the thing is that in unit number 1 basically we have study about the how magnetic field generated, how the magnetic field we can create, and with the creation how can we make circuit series or parallel. So many laws we have studied, but in that law we came to an basically result that as per the force law, as per the Faraday of electromagnetic induction, as per the Biot-Savart law, as per the Ampere law, the one thing is that we can convert electrical into mechanical and mechanical into electrical. But first we convert in a one coupling circuit, that is known as magnetic circuit. So if I want to convert electrical into mechanical, though I have to do what? I have to first convert the electrical energy into magnetical field, means electrical field into magnetic field, and means we can say electrostatic field into magnostatic if static is there, and then magnostatic or magnetic field converted into the mechanical energy. Okay, my dear student. So how can we do? As per the force law, and force law basically tells you that whenever there is a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. So here in this unit number 2, my dear student, we have already studied about the electromagnetic force and the torque. Torque is basically related to the force. How? When force occurs, Basically, if I am having a current carrying wire in a magnetic field, so if I am having the current carrying wire in a magnetic field, due to that magnetic field and wire is carrying the current, if wire is carrying the current, the condition apply. If wire is carrying the current, then what will happen? Magnetic field basically exert a force on it. What magnetic field do? Magnetic field basically push it, basically apply force on it. If one thing is like this and I am applying a force, so it move like this. Okay, first is the initial condition, now this is the final condition, initial final. So there will be some displacement, so that displacement with the force, applied force in the direction, these are the vectors basically. So direction basis element or direction based elements. So what will happen? Torque will occur, torque will take place. We can say, in the previous school level classes we have studied that the torque is basically the cross multi, or we can say F cross D, force into displacement. If force is applicable and we having some displacement, then we can say due to this what will happen? Torque will take place. And if torque will take place, my dear student, though, we can rotate the thing very easily. Okay, so in this my lecture, I basically understand, I basically teach you about the torque again, but with having some numerical examples, means numerical problems. Means if I having some numerical problems related to it, then how can we do it? So with this starting, I am repeating again the torque, because in the previous class I told you about the force and torque both, torque on current loop. But in this class I am starting with the torque on current loop, and corresponding to this I will do some numericals, some numerical problems, my dear student. Because if I am knowing that there will be some expression, so there will be some mathematical analysis. So what I want to do, basically I want to do the mathematical solution, mathematical analysis. Okay, now moving forward, now what is the objective to deliver this lecture to you, my dear students? My objective is help the student to understand about torque on current loops. If we having so many current loop, maybe in the rectangular position, or maybe in the square position, or maybe in the linear, whatever. So current loop are having which form? So we can say what? Help the student to understand about the torque on current loops in magnetic field. Obviously, if magnetic field is there, current carrying conductor is there, so what will happen? Force is exerted on it, and due to this force, the torque will take place. If torque is taking place, so what will happen? What will happen, my dear student? That thing will start rotating. Okay, now secondly, make students familiar with the torque on current loops. What I want to do, make you, the students, familiar with the torque on current loops related numerical problems in magnetic field. How we can do it, how can we solve it? Now moving forward, torque on a current loop. So as we discussed in the previous lecture, now I am repeating again. Now to for the better understanding, why I am doing this? So for the better understanding, my dear student, if you understand about the torque, though you can understand the basic working. Basically the unit 1 and 2 are deals with the basic part, because if you don't know about the magnetic field, how magnetic field take place in machines, though we can't able to understand working of electrical machines, rotating electrical machines, non-rotating electrical machine. Okay, I am using machines for non rotating, that is motor and generator, and I am using machine only, that is transformer. And transformer categorized into two category as per the supply. Okay, my dear student, single phase and three phase. Now here, basically what I want to tell you is this: torque on a current. What torque basically reflects on a current loop? So the rectangular loop carries a current I in a uniform magnetic field. Now see here, it is a rectangular, means opposite two sides are equal. If I am talking about the square, my dear student, then all four sides equal. But here two sides are equal, because I am telling about the rectangular. Okay, and I is in the uniform magnetic field. Uniform, it is flowing like this. See here, start from the one position, then downward two position, then going in their position, then upward is fourth position. And this is the green lines, green arrows showing you what? Showing you the magnetic field. Showing you the magnetic field. So here, when it is parallel, if I am moving like this is a plane, and if we apply magnetic field like this, these are the flux lines basically. So here we having the perpendicular condition. Here we having the perpendicular, but this will become the parallel conditions. So 1 and 3 are basically parallel to B. If I'm talking about 1 and 3 positions, now rectangular I'm talking about, so my dear student, 4 sides will be there. If I'm talking about the triangle, then 3 sides will be there. Now, if I'm talking about the uniform, so uniform is basically I'm taking square and rectangular. So instead of square, I'm taking rectangular. Okay. Now see, if I'm talking about the B, that is magnetic field, representing by a green flux lines, green arrow lines. So if I move here, for example, I am moving B into this. So what happened? In this 3 and 1 are parallel. So due to this parallel, what will happen? No magnetic force at all. If it is parallel, if it is parallel like this, for example, like this, okay, then there will be no force. If I apply like this, that that is perpendicular, means perpendicular. If I am working like this, that is perpendicular. If I am working like this, that is parallel. So my dear student, if it is parallel, then there will be no force, no magnetic force, no magnetization force. But if it is perpendicular like this, if it is working like this, perpendicular, so my dear student, what will happen? The 2 and 4 position, there will be some force. 2 and 4, see, 2 and 4 are the perpendicular, but 1 and 3 are the what? Parallel. So one on the 1 and 3 we'll find no magnetic force. But if I am talking about second and fourth position, now it is perpendicular. These positions are perpendicular to P, that is magnetic field, showing by the green arrows. So at this position, the force acts on, and due to this, the force acts on 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 1 and 3 sides, no force will act. And if I am talking about the force acting, that is 2 and 4, my dear student. So on 1 and 3, we are getting L cross B is equals to 0. L cross B is equals to 0 because they are parallel, no perpendicular. Okay. Now, if I am talking about 2 and 4, my dear student, so 2 and 4 are perpendicular to the magnetic field. So it experiences a force. And if force is there, then torque is also there. Now see, torque on current flow again. Now there is a force on sides 2 and 4. As I earlier discussed with you the previous of this, that if 1 and 3, I am talking about. So in the 1 and 3, basically, we having the parallel condition, and 2 and 4 having the perpendicular condition, means on the side of this rectangular loop. But if I'm taking as the loop in the parallel in the page, now here written, this is a force, there is a force on sides 2 and 4. Since they are perpendicular to the field, the magnitude of the magnetic force on these side will be I into A into B, IAB. What is it? I current, area, and magnetic field. Area is length into breadth, and magnetic field we always represent as B. Basically, B is what? Magnetic flux density. We have studied in the unit number 1, my dear student. But the magnetic density is basically the ratio of flux per area, Weber per meter square. So what what I want to say here, that I am representing the V on the F2 and F4, means one is the in and one is the out. So F4 is into the page. If I am considering this is on the page, I am considering this loop in the page. So in this page, if I am talking about 2 and 4 positions, 2 and 4 sides. So in this 2 and 4 sides, basically, in 4, F is inserting in, and if I'm talking about F2, it is out. So it is working like this. Now this is basically what? This is your F4, the 4 side, and this is your 2 side. So though we can say F2 is behaving like this and F4 is behaving like this, so we can say the direction of F2 is out of the page. We are if I'm considering this is on the page, so we can say, or you can say, and I also can say, and I'm saying this thing, that that the f4 is into the page and f2 is out of the page. Okay, I hope you understand. Now the forces are equal and in opposite direction. What happens, my dear student? First is the force. So force is acting like this. See, what I want to tell you, it is not like this, it is basically like this. We can see like this, we can say. So one is inward, out, second one is outward. So we can say what? The forces are equal, they are equal and in opposite direction. They are equal. If I am considering the f4 is the positive and f2 is negative, if I am considering here, because dot considered as a out and cross considered as a in. I'm told you, I basically taught you in my previous lecture series. Okay, series of lecture. So here the forces are equal in opposite direction, but not along the same line of action. But not along the same line of action. They are not along the same line of action. Why they are not same line of action? One is basically moving upward, another one is moving downward. If line is there, so one is downward, another one is behaving like this. So line is here. So we can say the force produced at a torque around the point. Now, my dear students, see why the force produce a torque. A deflection is there, a displacement is there. One is moving like there, another one is moving here. So we having two magnetic field B. One magnetic field is B, but divided into two equal parts, B by 2 and B by 2. B by 2 for the F2 and B by 2 for the F4. So the magnetic forces F2 and F4 exerted on sides 2 and 4, we have already discussed, create a torque that tends to the rotate the loop clockwise. It basically tells the loop to rotate clockwise, like this, not like this. Rotate the loop clockwise. We can also determine with the Fleming right hand rule. We can also determine this thing with Fleming right hand rule. In this, we having what? We can also say this: the movement of the conductor in a magnetic field induced here. Okay, so we can identify through this the direction of the rotation. So I hope you understand this thing, my dear student. Now see, the force produced what? Force produce a torque around here. Where it produce a torque? It produce at O point, because deflection. One is moving, another is moving. So deflection is there like this. If it is like this, no force will accept it. But now the condition is behaving like this. It is moving. It is like this. We can say. So what will happen? The torque will produce. Okay, my dear students, at point O. Now, so if I want to calculate the maximum torque, I can write one thing, that is F2B by 2. F2 is what? Force applying on the side 2. And F4 is what? The force applying on the side 4 of that uniform rectangular loop. Okay, my dear student. But F2 basically is the outward and F4 is basically the inward. So instead of this, what can I write here? What can I write here, my dear student? IAB we already know. Force is what? I into A into B. But now here we having the again B by 2. That is the thing. So we can say IAB into B. IAB into B. Another thing. So what I am here saying you here, the area enclosed by the loop is AB. AB we are using for the sides. But if I am considering this whole sides, so I consider it as a area. I'm considering as a area. So area into current into magnetic field. That is the value of torque. That is the value of torque. Now, my dear student, if I'm talking about the force, so if force is parallel, then basically if magnetic field behaving on the side parallelly like this, no force will occur. But if I'm behaving like this, what will happen? Force will take place. And if I'm moving like this, force like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, like this. So what will happen? Displacement take place. And due to that displacement, my dear student, force cross displacement, force into displacement, that gives you the torque. That gives you the what? Torque value. Though this maximum value occurs only when the field is parallel to the plane of the loop. Okay, now moving forward, torque on a current loop. Now considering again, why I'm considering again, now I am taking as an angle, moving that loop, not like this, not we can say like this. Now I'm moving it like this. Okay, so if I'm moving, one is initial and I'm moving like this. For example, one thing is there and I move like this. So what happened? The angle take place. If I'm moving like this 90 degree, if I'm moving like this, we can say 45 degree. So there will be some angle. So assume the magnetic field makes an angle of theta less than 90 degree with a line perpendicular to the plane of loop. See here. See, this is a line. Now here is a zero where we having the torque. It is exerted with the angle is basically changes with the angle of theta. It is also changing with the help inserting and basically inward and outward. So we can say it is outward, it is inward. So here we having the zero or O. O we can say I am considering zero here because it is an initial position. But if we want to represent it, I am in the figure it is represented as O position. So that is the O, and B by 2 is the half of it, and half B by 2 here, and it making an angle. It is also making an angle. So we represent as a theta degree. Theta. I am representing that angle with the theta, and it's the theta is basically not 90 degree. It is less than 90 degree. So instead of the previous equation, I'm changing the equation here. That will become IAB sine theta. IAB sine theta, because I'm changing into the angle. What I'm doing here, my dear student, I'm basically changing this thing into the angle. So when the normal to the loop makes an angle theta, when if I'm talking the normal to the loop makes an angle theta with the magnetic field, the moment arm for the torque is b by 2 cos theta, b by 2 sin theta, sorry, not cos. Here we are making the sin angle, though it will become b by 2 sin theta. So using this sin theta, now I'm changing my equation with the previous one. The previous equation is this. See here, this is your basically the previous equation, IAB. Now in this equation, it converted into sine theta because some angle is there, and it will happens if rotating loop is there. It will happens. This force will taking place from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and carry on positions. Carry on positions. So it is changing. So we can write IAB sine theta. What can I write here, my dear student? IAB sine theta. Now moving forward. So through this, I'm I can also write this thing. The torque has maximum value when the field is perpendicular to the normal plane. When the magnetic field is perpendicular like this to the to the plane of the loop, normal to the plane of the loop. Now this equation will become IA into B. Why is it so, my dear student? Why is it so? Because sine 0 is 0 and sine 90 is 1. So theta become 90 degree here. Why it has happened? Because theta is become 90 degree here. If theta is becoming 90 degree here, so my dear student, sine 90 is value having 1. So we can say it is a maximum value. And if I'm talking about the minimum value, then it is parallel. And at this parallel, the theta is no value, means 0, then sine 0 is 0. Okay, so see here. The torque has maximum value when the field is perpendicular to the normal, to the plane of the loop. So we can writing what? We can write basically what? Instead of IAB sine theta becomes sine 90, though I am changing my equation. The equation is changed. This will become torque having vector I current into area into the magnetic field. Okay. Now the torque is zero when the field is parallel to the normal to the plane of the loop. The torque is zero when the field is parallel to the normal to the plane of the loop. If torque is zero when the field is parallel. In the previous case, the field is perpendicular to the normal to the plane. But the second case, it is parallel to the normal to the plane of the loop. Then here we having what? We having what? Is zero value. Why it is 0? Sine 0, 0. Is perpendicular, here we have been considering area, is perpendicular to the plane of the loop and has a magnitude equal to the area of the loop. Equal to the area of the loop. So I hope you understand. I hope you understand this thing. Now, the torque on a current carrying coil. Previous one, it is basically I'm telling you the torque on a current loop. Now in this, I'm telling you one thing. What? That is the torque on a current carrying coil. So if a loop of a wire is suspended properly, if I am basically loop of a wire is suspended properly in a magnetic field, free to rotate. I am basically put it that it free to rotate. It works basically like this. So if I'm suspending properly in a magnetic field, the magnetic force produces a torque. The magnetic force produces a torque that tends to rotate the loop. What happens? That tends to that basically tends to rotate the loop will start rotate. Okay, force produce a torque, and due to the torque, the loop start rotating. Same happens take place in motor and generator case. That is why this unit is totally deals with the basic part. Now moving forward, when a current carrying loop is placed in a magnetic field, when current carrying loop or wire we can say, I'm assuming a wire which is having the current carrying, or conductor is also we can say. Why I'm saying the conductor is basically the having the conducting part. It is why we are calling as a conductor. It having the resistance tends to 0, conductivity is higher. Okay, so when a current carrying loop is placed in a magnetic field, the loop tends to rotate. The loop basically tends to what? Rotate, such that it normal become aligned with the magnetic. How? The normal become aligned with the magnetic field. Normal become aligned with the magnetic field. So these are the consideration, the torque on current carrying coil. Previously, I talked to you about the torque on a current loop. Now here, the torque on a current carrying coil. So basically we are enhancing our the part means basically if we want to understand that how torque take place on a current carrying. So here the torque take place on a current carrying coil when it is rotate in such a way that it normal becomes aligned with the magnetic field, aligned with the magnetic. Now moving forward, my dear student, torque on a loop. Now, torque on a loop. I'm talking about what? The torque on a loop. So previously we have basically find out the expression for the torque on any flat loop of area A of any shape is given by the following. It is given by the following, that torque is equals to I A area into B, that is magnetic field. So IA B we can say, or IA cross B, or IA into B. So I hope you understand. In the previous, we have basically expressed this thing with the equation, that is the equation, final equation of torque on a loop. So torque is equals to I into P. Now next is basically torque on a loop continue with the previous. Now, if we define a magnetic moment of the loop in terms of the area vector, then the current in a loop, then torque becomes. Now see here, if I am talking about what, if we defining a magnetic moment of the loop, the magnetic moment of the loop in terms of area vector, in terms of what, my dear student? Area vector. If area vector is there, in terms of area vector I'm considering here, though the current in the loop, then the torque becomes, current in the loop we having, at this condition the torque becoming what? Mu into B. Mu is what? The permeability. So mu into B. We can say we have the another equation. The previous equation was torque is equals to IA cross P. Here the equation become the torque is equals to mu cross P. I hope you understand. Now next, magnitude of a torque. Now magnitude of a torque. Now here the permeability or mu become is equals to IE, is equals to what? I into A, means area of that magnetic material, or we can say the core, we can say the magnetic circuit, we can say the path through which we can basically flow the flux lines, we can move the flux lines. The area with that current we can convert into the permeability, because the strength, permeability is basically what? The measurement of magnetic field, the measurement of magnetism, the measurement of how can we, how much amount of magnetic flux or magnetic field we can generate in a circuit or in a path, in a loop, or in a, we can say, the part in which we want to generate or create or basically make the magnetic field. So we can also write the magnitude of a torque created by a magnetic field on a current carrying loop as this is. We already calculated or expressed basically or evaluated or derived that torque is equals to Ia b sine theta. Now instead of Ia, we can write what? Mu. So mu b sine theta. I hope you understand. Now moving forward, my dear student, example. Now this is the main thing which we want to do. Now see here, a coil of wire has an area of 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square. 2 into 10 raised to the power 4 meter square. Consists of 100 loops or turns. Consists of what? 100 loops or turns, and contains a current of 0.045 ampere. Okay, 0.045 ampere. Now the coil is placed in a uniform magnetic field of magnitude 0.5 Tesla. The coil is placed in a uniform magnetic field of magnitude 0.15 Tesla. Now, my dear student, first of all, I'm always telling you one thing, or always basically told you one thing in my previous lecture, that B which we are representing for the field here, that is basically the magnetic field density. That is what? The magnetic field density, and it is calculated with the help of flux per area, Weber per meter square. And instead of whole this, we called as Tesla. What we called as Tesla. 1000, 10,000 Gauss. We can also convert it to Gauss. But better understanding, for better understanding, we always treat it as a Tesla. Now see, a coil of a wire has an area. Area is given to, that is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square. Consists of 100 loops or turns, and contains a current 0.045 ampere. The coil is placed in a uniform magnetic field of magnitude 0.15 T. Now see, if I am considering the equation, the previous equation is IAB. IAB. Yeah, or we can say, uh, or we can say what? That torque is equals to I A cross B. So I is given to you, A is given to you, B is also given to you. But my dear student, it is multi-ton, or we can say 100 loops. But the previous equation is for only one loop. Now we have to change our equation, because in this question or in this example, one thing is given, one thing is there, that we are considering for the 100 loops, for the 100 tons, not for the 1 ton. So if I am considering for the 100 tons, my dear student, so we have to change our equation for multi loops, multi tons. Now, how can we do it? See here. Now, determine the maximum torque. Determine what? The maximum torque that magnetic field can exert on a coil. We have already discussed that we have to calculate the torque, but the thing is given to that, determine the maximum torque that the magnetic field can exert on a coil. So we have to calculate the torque, that is what? IAB, IAB sine theta. Okay. Now instead of Ia we can write mu, permeability. Okay. Now here in the question, area is given to you. Okay, that is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square. Okay, current is also given to you, my dear student, that is 0.045, and B is given to you, that is 0.15 Tesla. So how can we calculate now? Moving forward, the such solution. Now see here. See here, my dear student. See here, what we having the value. Since the coil consists of numerous loops. Now one, I already told you that previous equation we are using for the one loop, that is IAB sine theta. If theta is not given, we can consider it into IAB. If it is angle is not given to you, so we can change the angle value, and considering that it is basically the plane, so we are considering theta is 0 degree, theta is 90 degree. Theta is what? If parallel we are talking, theta is 90 degree, so sine 90 is 1. Okay, if angle value is given to you, then you have to put that angle value, whether it is 30 degree, whether it is 25 degree, whether it is 45 degree, whether it is 65 degree. It is depend on the example or the numerical which is given to you. Okay, now since the coil consists of numerous loop, we need to modify our equation for the torque. Now what we have to do, we have to basically need to modify our equation for torque. So the equation will change to torque is equals to NIAB sine theta, where sine theta is 1. So N is given to what? 100. I is already given in the numerical, that is 0.045 ampere. And area is already given to you or not? That is 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. And B is given to you, that is 0.15 Tesla. So if I want to solve this thing, now the torque is always comes in the Newton. Newton meter. The unit of the torque is Newton meter. So we can write 1 into 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton meter. Now this is the torque value, which is basically we have to calculate, determine the maximum torque. Now the maximum torque is this, the solution is this thing. Now that is your answer. Okay, I hope you understand about the numerical. It is very simple. The values are given to you, just you have to put the values in the equation. But the one thing which we have to alter the our equation from the previous one equation. Why? Here we having the numerous, or we can say number of loops. So no one loop is there. If one loop is there, then we can use one, means no n. But if number of loops are there, then I have to write n here. So I hope you understand. Okay, now moving forward, another example for you, my dear student. Now, a rectangular coil of a dimensions 5 into 40 centimeter by 8 into 50 centimeter consists of 25 turns of wire. Now, a rectangular coil is given to, in which the length is given to, if we can say length into breadth. So length is given to you, breadth is given to you. We can calculate what? Area. We can calculate what, my dear student? Area. But after this, see one thing, consists of 25 turns of wire. Consists of how many turns of wire? 25 turns. So N is given. The coil carries a current of 15 milliampere. The coil carries a current of 15 milliampere. A uniform magnetic field of magnitude 0.350 Tesla. So B is given to, is applied parallel to the plane of the loop. What are the magnitudes of magnetic moment of the coil and the torque acting on the loop? So in this question, we have to identify two things. One is magnetic moment of the coil and the torque acting on the loop. What are the magnitudes of the magnetic moment of the coil and the torque which is acting on the loop? We have to identify, we have to calculate. Now I am reading again this numerical to for the better understanding. A rectangular coil. A coil is given to, that is of which form? Rectangular form. Dimension is given L by B, we can say. Length is given to, that is 5.40 centimeter by 8.50, that is breadth centimeter, consists of 25 turns of wire, and is given. Length is given, breadth is given, though we can calculate the area, that is L into B, length into breadth. Okay. Now, the coil carries a current of 15 milliampere. Now, what we having? We having the coil carries a current of 15 milliampere. Now, current value is given to you. That is what? 15 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 ampere. A uniform magnetic field of magnitude 0.350 Tesla. How much amount of magnitude of magnetic field? That is 0.350 Tesla. Okay, is applied parallel to the plane of the loop. Is applied parallel to the plane of the loop. Now I'm applying to what? Parallel to the plane of the loop. So what are the magnitudes of the magnetic moment which we have to calculate of the coil and the torque acting on the loop? What we are having of the magnetic moment of the coil and the torque which is acting on the loop. Now come to the solution part. Solution. Now the area of a rectangular coil is equal to the product of its length and height. We can see. Okay. Now here we can calculate like this. Now in this I am converting it to the meter. That is why it becomes like this. Divide by 100. So I am getting 4.59 into 10 raised to power minus 3 meters square. What I am getting here? 4.59 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 meters square. But this is, my dear student, is only area. Now again, continuation of this solution. Now we can write like this. The equation is given here. That is torque is equals to mu into B. Mu is what? The permeability. B is the magnetic field. Or we can write like this here. Mu B sine pi by 2. Why pi by 2 is given? Because normal to the plane. So we can write pi by 2. Now mu. Mu and the Tesla. So we can also calculate the mu with the formula. We have already calculated. So we can easily calculate the formula. B by H we can say. Mu is equals to what? B by H, and B by H. H we can also calculate ampere turn per length. So length is given to you, current is given to you, okay, and C. How can we calculate there? In the solution, current is given to you, that is what? That is what, my dear student? 15 milliampere. And turns are 25. So 25 into 15 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. We'll get what? We'll get the mmf, that is ampere turn. And length is already given to you, that is 5.40. This is your length. Okay, so we can calculate the mu value. That is the what value? Mu. We can easily calculate. In my previous lectures, I told you the mu is the permeability, and we can calculate the mu. Why? B is proportional to H, but B is equals to mu H. Though mu is equals to B by H. Mu is equals to B by H. B is already given here, and H is what? mmf per length. And mmf is what? Ampere turn. Ampere turn. Current is given to you. Okay. Turns are given to you. Just multiply it and divide by the length. So directly we are calculating the value, that is 1.72 into 10 raised to power minus 3. That is J by T, joules per Tesla, and into 0.0350 T. T is for the Tesla, and J we are using for that H intense. That is the basically for magnetic field. And by multiplying these two, we can calculate the value, that is 6.02 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 Newton meter. Again the torque value. So we can calculate. And why we are using the mu formula here? Because we are calculating for the wires. Now see here, why I am using the mu. Rectangular coil of a dimension. The coil is there. That is why I am using the mu permeability. I hope you understand this thing. Now these are the solution. Okay. Now before this, I hope you understand about the solution, that is mu into B, permeability into magnetic field, that is we having the value. Sin pi by 2 is why? Because it is normal to the plane. So the theta will become pi by 2. Pi by 2 means maximum condition is there because 90 degree, and sin 90 means 1. Means 1 value. So we are having the 1 value. I hope you understand. Okay, just see it in numerical. See the numerical. I am repeating again this numerical for you, my dear students. Just go through it. Read it. In this, length is given, height is given or bath is given, turns are given to you, current are given, though ampere turn is there. By length, we having the h value, b is given to you, that is 0.305 t. So b is equal, mu is equals to b by h. So we will easily calculate the value. Okay, b by h, we having the value. Okay, so this is the parallel to the plane of the loop. Now, what are the magnitudes of the magnetic moment of the coil? That is why magnetic moment of the coil. So I have to use the magnetic moment, means I am talking about the permeability. Okay, and the torque on the acting loop. So through this, the area is given. We can calculate with the help of length into height or length into breadth. Now I'm calculating this area. Here the area is given to you. Okay, and two things are there. I is already given to you, A is given to you, though you can do what? You can just multiply I into A. I is what? It is given here in the numerical, that is 15 milliampere. So we can convert into this thing, 0.59 into 50. So we are getting this thing, J by T. So I hope you understand about this thing. Now after this, potential energy of a magnetic type. Now in my previous series of lectures, I told you one thing, that every magnet has dipole. Every magnet is a dipole. In every magnet, we always find north and south and north poles both. If I cut the magnet into two pieces, so though each piece of the magnet is behaving like a magnetic dipole, north and south, and the another piece is also behaving like a magnet having north and south pole. So I hope you understand about this thing, magnetic dipole. Though a potential energy can be associated to magnetic dipole moment, similar to the potential energy of an electrical dipole. We can also we can say what actually I want to tell you. A potential energy can be associated to the magnetic dipole. Magnetic dipole is their moment similar to the potential energy of an electric dipole. Of an electric dipole, similar to that one. So through this, we can change our equation. See here, the equation is this thing, theta mu into b, permeability into magnetic field. We can change it like this, cos theta. So that is the potential energy of magnetic field. Anyone can ask you that what is the potential energy of magnetic dipole? That is the permeability into the magnetic field, simply, or mu b into cos theta. I hope you understand. Now moving forward, now this is all about my side in my lecture, but these are the some MCQs for you, multiple choice question for you. Now the torque of a conductor is defined only in the case when field is perpendicular to the loop. Okay, the plane of a loop is parallel to the field. The plane of the loop is perpendicular to the current direction. The field and the current direction are same. So I already tell you this thing, or in my lecture, that how can we identify the answer. So you can choose your answer. In a field having a force 12 n and distance 20 centimeter, the torque will be F cross D, simply, though 12 into 20, but here we having the centimeter, so you have to convert it into meter, divide by 100. So see the answer. Torque of a conductor with flux density is given 23 units. Current is given, area is given, though IA into B. IA into B, those 1.6 into 6.75 and into 23. So we can calculate the answer. Find the angle at which torque is minimum. Is minimum. Okay. Find the torque in a conductor having current 20 ampere. Flux density is given to you, length is given to you, distance is given to you. So length into distance, we having the area IA into B. Current is there, area is there, and B is there. You can do. Now magnetic moment already we have already calculated. Next we having the magnetic moment of a field. If you want to calculate, we can easily calculate. Second, we having the distance of a conductor when the area and length of the conductor is 24 meters square. We can easily calculate. The presence of parallel alignment of magnetic dipole moment is given by which material? Diamagnetic, ferromagnetic, paramagnetic, or electromagnetic. So you can identify. I already told you this thing in my lecture. Magnetic field line moves from east to west, south to north. So you can identify the answer also. What is the answer? Now these are the some references from which I took my material, and you can also refer. These are the good books available in our library, and these are the good books basically dealing with the electrical machinery. So I hope you understand a lot with this my lecture. So thank you for patience listening. I hope you understand. I hope you better understand, my dear student. So if you have any query, you can ask me again later on. Okay, my dear student. Thank you, student, for listening. Okay, thank you, student.